Hello everyone. I hope you are doing amazing today. Welcome to today's video. Story 1. My wife, 36F, said something terrible to me. 31M, what are my options? A little background. I have been married for going on 6 years and together with my wife for 10 total. We have a fairly decent relationship, but it's not without its struggles. We have 2 kids that are younger and I work a 9 to 5 while my wife is a som by choice. We try our best to split chores and kid stuff evenly. We have even agreed we do well with the distribution of labor in our house. I guess that's the background. On Saturday morning, I woke up in a daze and couldn't seem to concentrate or make sense. I am a type 1 diabetic and was having an extremely low blood sugar and suffering from brain fog. My wife kept asking me questions about the day and what we were going to do. I couldn't focus and even hear her questions. I can't even remember parts of the morning. My wife got progressively more frustrated by my nonsense answers. I kept walking away to gather myself but could no seem to focus or stay in any conversation. My wife started to get frustrated and insulting me, saying truly awful things like, "I don't really care for you and I can't wait to divorce you." Long story short, I finally got myself some sugar and about 30 minutes later I could focus and went to talk to my wife. She was upset with me and said about how she was trying to plan the morning and I ruined the weekend. This is where it gets bad in my opinion. I told her I was sorry and explained the low blood sugar and brain fog to her. She said, "I knew you were having a low blood sugar and it was frustrating." I asked, "Why didn't you help me?" She just said, "You've had diabetes for long enough and should know better." I tried to explain to her the danger of not helping someone who is that impacted by a low blood sugar. She got really mad and told me to go away. I tried to explain I am not mad and just wanted to know why she didn't bring me some juice or something. She said the most awful thing next, "If you don't leave me alone, I will call the cops and tell them you hit me." And another much worse version of that. I want to make it clear there has never been any abuse in our household and I have never hit anything or anyone in my life. We did not talk for the rest of the day. Here's where I am lost. I do not trust my wife anymore. I never thought she would pull something like that and try to actually ruin my life. The fact she would lie and try to get me arrested is bad enough, but throw on top all of the other stuff she said. I just can't look past it. Another thing, I can't seem to get over the fact that she knew I was in a severe case of low blood sugar and just sat there and kept asking me questions. She never once asked if I was okay or offered to help. Is this something people can most past or am I wasting my time? I can't look at her the same anymore. What are my options to try and move past it? Someone commented, "You should be willing to end the marriage over this." I decided to check your posting history before publishing the comment. You left a lot of things out. This relationship is definitely over. People told you to divorce her 7 months ago and they're probably going to tell you the same thing now. If you make another post in 6 months about something else she's done, you're going to get the same advice. Your posting history says you should divorce her. You're holding on to some fairy tale that things will be okay again. They won't. Don't use the kids as an excuse to stay. This behavior is very bad for kids to witness, and seeing dad go to jail, especially for something he/you didn't do, can be traumatizing. This is really for the kids. Get a divorce. It'll be rough, but in the long run you, her and the kids will be better off. It'll be rough, but in the long run you, her and the kids will be better off. Another user added, "I don't think this is something you move past with her. I'm Afriad. You're 100% right to no longer trust her. She has directly told you that she is a danger to your life and freedom. I don't know why or how things got to this point for her, but it doesn't really matter. Maybe a year ago, therapy would have been an option to repair your relationship, but today the only safe option is divorce. Right now, every day you stay with her is a day you're putting your life and freedom at genuine risk with someone who has directly told you they are a threat if it becomes more convenient to them. Talk to a lawyer and find out what your fastest and cleanest options are. Do not give her an indication you're doing this. Tell the lawyer exactly what you told us here and any other instances where she has threatened your life, etc. They will advise you on how to proceed in a way that will keep you safe. Also, contact a domestic abuse organization. If you're in the USA, the hotline is a good place to start. Yes, the way she is treating and talking to you is abusive. Abuse doesn't need to be physical violence, and you deserve support. Please reach out and join at least an online domestic abuse community for men. For now, play nice with your wife, let her think things are normal. Do not tip your hand that you're proceeding with a divorce till you know exactly what your options and actions are, and are ready to protect yourself either by evicting her or moving out yourself. Again, strategize with your lawyer on this, and do not tell her on your own. Make sure you have a trusted friend with you who knows what she has said and what's going on, because from what she's said it is very likely she will react very badly and try and spin the situation into one where you end up in jail. Once you have presented her with the divorce, do not be alone with her, or have any unrecorded conversations with her. Have everything written down, ideally through your lawyer. Whoever she is today is not the woman you married. Today she is your enemy. She has made that very clear. You cannot trust her in any way whatsoever. You need to protect yourself above being polite, reasonable, mature, etc. You cannot hope to get an explanation out of her or closure as to why she is suddenly talking and threatening you like this. You need to accept that you may never know what flipped this switch in her. Maybe there is some explanation like a brain tumor, etc., but right now you cannot risk your own life or freedom on those maybes. Start getting your ducks in a row quietly, get all the distance you possibly can, and later on after the dust has settled, maybe you can get some answers then. But I would focus on getting divorced now, getting into therapy, and surviving the next few months first. I hope all works out for you in the end, OP. Do you have any suggestions or ideas for OP? Please let us know in the comments down below. Story 2. My sister, 31F, was dating my therapist and now she hates me. Now what do? I, 24F, have always had a strained relationship with my older sister, who I'll call Sawyer, 31F. Since we were little, Sawyer was the golden child. Our parents loved us both, and our brother 27M, but it was clear she was their favorite. Not as dramatic as some people, but little things like my dad bringing her home a treat from the grocery store, but not me making an excuse like he thought I was at a friend's house or something. Sawyer has always been manipulative and controlling in my view. She's the type of person who needs to have the upper hand in every situation, which while growing up resulted in my sometimes trying to make things difficult for her, or pulling the rug out from under her, which I've worked on and since grown out of. She got married a few years ago, but that fell apart after she cheated on her husband. Of course, she blamed everything but herself for the divorce. He was always a sweet guy, but no backbone, and she rolled right over him. Fast forward to the present, I've been in therapy for a while now. I have a great therapist, let's call him Tom, early 40 SM, who has really helped me work through a lot of personal issues like my complicated relationship with Sawyer. Over time, I've told Tom a lot about her and our relationship, including some stuff about her marriage. At a family gathering, I finally met Sawyer's new boyfriend, who I'd heard about, but we don't talk much, so I didn't think much about it. She's dating about 2 others since her divorce. And to my absolute shock, it's Tom, my therapist. They've been dating for 9 months, and somehow neither of them made the connection. Apparently, Tom didn't recognize her by the last name because she still has her ex-husbands. Tom ended things with Sawyer pretty soon after, saying he couldn't be with her because of everything he's heard from me about her. He told her he sees her in a different light now. Sawyer went absolutely ballistic. She accused me of sabotaging her relationship and poisoning Tom against her. Now, she's beginning to turn my parents and some of our closer extended family against me about it. Everyone is talking about how horrible it is that I bad-mouthed her in therapy, as if I am some mastermind villain for simply being honest in a private space where I was working through my issues. I feel trapped. I never intended for this to happen, but now my family is turning against me, except my brother, but he's unhelpful and tries to stay out of things, and I don't know how to fix things. I also feel conflicted about continuing therapy with Tom, even though he's been helpful until now. Any advice would be really appreciated. Someone commented, I am also on the Tom fucked up train, but did you ask Tom about what he said, or are you just trusting what your sister said to be true? I mean, either way you need a new therapist, and I am sure Tom will also advise that. But he could have just said, "I can't date you because you are related to a client." And then she turned it into, "He dumped me because you said bad things about me." Maybe worth a check-in with Tom before we all go crazy and report him for HIPAA violations, especially since we know how she lies, cheats, and manipulates. As far as your family, you already know your parents will be on her side as she is the favorite. Don't apologize to anyone, you did nothing wrong, like not even a tiny bit. I don't know, maybe straight up tell your parents that you have always known that she was the favorite and can see now that it will never change. If they want a good relationship with you, they will need to find some therapy themselves to understand what that did to your self-esteem and confidence. You don't have to go no contact, but they should know that you don't trust them 100% and you will more than likely keep them at a distance to protect yourself. Maybe it will be the eye-opener they need. Another user added, "I'd say the situation between you and your sister was already a ticking time bomb, and this whole therapist fiasco just lit the fuse. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. Tom, your therapist, fucked up big time. Ethically, he should have known better. The moment he figured out that the person he was dating was your sister, he should have recused himself as your therapist. The fact that he didn't is a serious red flag. I consider finding a new therapist, one who can maintain those professional boundaries and give you the space you deserve to work on your issues without the drama." As for Sawyer, the golden child with the golden ability to manipulate the hell out of every situation, you probably couldn't have stopped this train wreck even if you'd tried. She's got her narrative, and she's sticking to it, which unfortunately involves making you the villain of her story. You said yourself that she's controlling and manipulative, so it's no surprise she's twisting the situation to make herself look like the victim. Here's the real kicker though, you didn't do anything wrong. You were in therapy, talking about your own shit, trying to process your complicated relationship with her. That's what therapy is for. If Sawyer can't handle the truth, that's her problem, not yours. But because she's got the family eating out of her hand, you're going to have to tread carefully here. What to do next? First, get a new therapist who's not going to sleep with your relatives. Seriously, that's step one. Next, as for the family drama, it's time for a big old boundaries check. You need to decide how much of this bullshit you're willing to engage in. If your family is choosing to believe her version of events without hearing your side, then you need to question how much value you place on their opinions. This might be the time to take a step back from those who are turning on you and focus on maintaining relationships with those who actually have your back, like your brother. If you feel up for it, you could try to explain your side to your parents, but don't expect them to do a 180 just because you give them your perspective. Remember, they've been trained by years of Sawyer's manipulation, so don't be shocked if they're slow to see the light, if they ever do. And lastly, you need to protect your mental health. You're dealing with some serious emotional shit right now, and continuing therapy with Tom could just dig you into a deeper hole. Move on from him and focus on yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's been working to better yourself, and that's something they can't take away from you, no matter how much Sawyer tries to spin it. Stay strong and don't let the a-holes grind you down. What about you? What do you think would be the best advice you could give in such a situation? Let us know down in the comments. That would be all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please share, like, and subscribe for more stories like this. I hope you have a wonderful day, and always remember to be kind.